A list of rumored free agent targets for the Chicago Bulls came out last night, and it's highly focused on bigs and wings. But will that pay off for the Chicago Bulls? Is that enough? We're going to discuss it all and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host, creator of Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages, and podcasts. Pat is coming to us from, I don't know, what are you, in the basement? You big?
I'm basically just sitting in a different chair.
That's hilarious, bro. How's your morning going, brother?
It's all good, man. Getting ready for rookie mini camp, ripping and running, man. I'm just. It's always the scramble before the storm.
Hey, that's what you signed up for. That's what you're called to do, brother. So hey, it is what it is. There,
100%.
But Pat, we got yesterday around afternoon a list of reported free agent targets for the Chicago Bulls are going to go. They're targeting defensive bigs, wings, but all around that mid-level exception type money, not really huge money going out there. Just to list off some of the names real quick. Precious Achiuwa, Day'Ron Sharpe, Caleb Houston, Paul Reed, Keon Johnson, Jake LaRavia. Are there any names on here that kind of stand out to you that make sense for the Bulls?
I mean, you're swapping a guy with a guy. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anybody that's over the top. I don't think that there's anybody that is, I mean, Paul Reed's an interesting name just for the fact that, he has some of that two-way ability, can give you a little bit of offense on one end, also give you some defensive effort on the other. But, I mean, there's nobody – you know what it tells me, and this is truly the conversation that you got to have with a group like this. AK truly believes that – the group that he has put together is the group.
Yeah.
AK believes that Kobe White, Josh Giddey, and Matas Buzelis is the group. And we were talking about this yesterday. I'm willing to go down that path with you if Matas Buzelis becomes a superstar. If Matas Buzelis becomes even a star. I'm excited about the group that you've put together. Yeah. But if Matas Buzelis is a solid piece, a good player, whatever you want to call it, I don't know if this is the answer that you're hoping for. But as we know with AK, this is the path he's going to go down. This is what he wants to see are these guys actual stars?
And I also think this is kind of more so aligned as well with what we've heard as far as the summer of 26, where they plan to make their big swing. This seems like these are guys that outside of Day'Ron Sharpe, like I do think he's probably going to command a multi-year deal, but everybody else on this list, you probably get away with signing a 1 year with a team option or something like that to kind of maintain that space. So this may be one of those off seasons where the Bulls say, all right, bet this is what y'all showed us at the end of last season. We're going to do what we can to help that be better by adding defense in here. And now let's see what you really do when you have better defense. And if it doesn't work out or falls apart or how y'all finished the season last year isn't who y'all really are, then we haven't really attached any long, big money in regards to trying to support that vision of the team. And so that could be what this is as well. I do like your thought of like AK looking at it and saying, all right, bet these are the guys that we're rolling with. We're going to bring in guys that make sense with this. And all these moves as well, like I think a lot of it's dependent upon what happens Monday. And also then who they draft after going through that draft lottery. Because now we got the Pope on our side, Pat. We got the Pope on our side.
Hey, listen, whatever it takes to get the number one overall pick, if it takes a man sending prayers to gods, I'm here for it.
Bro, that was the funniest thing is watching Chicagoans when they have a little bit of hope, bro. All the Pope edits yesterday between the Bears and the Bulls gear. Is hilarious, bro.
I seen one where the whole Pope getup was just a Bears outfit.
Yeah.
It was just all the Bears stuff hanging down over the shoulders, and the hat was a Bears hat. I saw one that literally was just the Chicago flag. I was like, maybe a little too much. I mean, that might
First
be a little.
American Pope ever from Chicago. So there you go on that one.
And dispelling the rumors apparently that were out there that he was a Southside Cubs fan. He is a White Sox fan, ladies and gentlemen. So we need God all the way around.
I mean, listen, if you can keep faith in the Sox, I mean,
this man is perfect.
I'm just saying,
that's how he got the job. That's how he
faith
got the job.
The faith of a mustard seed, bro. Like, it's real. I'm
They
telling
looked at it and were like, Sox fan. This guy's got more faith than I do. Man, two Jerry teams? Two Jerry teams? Oh.
One of the names that surprised me on this list, I know he's young, I know he has some upside, is Jake LaRavia. Like this, I mean, not to say that I can't see the fit, but to me, if you're bringing in somebody like a Jake LaRavia, does that mean that like that Kevin Herter's on the trade block? Because I mean, you look at that's some of the similar things. He can come in and maybe back up Matas as well. Like that's the thing. None of these guys I think are going to come in, like I said, outside of Day'Ron Sharp, Precious, and maybe Paul Reed. They're not going to play 20+ minutes per game. More, we say that, but you never know under Billy Donovan. So I can't really say that.
I don't know if he's Kevin Herter replacement. I'll say this: when you look at a lot of these players' size and build, and I'm not going to say that they're going to be the same guy, but it does feel like they're looking to replace P. Will.
Yeah,
this looks like the fill-in for P. Will replacement. When you talk about Precious Achiuwa, when you talk about Paul Reed, even LaRavia is what 6'8" and a shooter.
Yeah,
and basically what the Bulls are saying is we don't give a f about the defense anymore. We just need somebody that will produce.
Well, if it's LaRavia, for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's like we just need somebody that will produce at that position. And it can't be a position of void anymore. But that's what P. Will has become. It is a void position where basically you have a roster spot with somebody you gotta play somewhat because you
don't have very many forwards. Like you gotta play him.
You gotta play him. By the way, he's playing power and some center. But that to me is the replacement that I really think the Bulls are looking to get right, because clearly 1 year into this deal, they feel like they've gotten it wrong with Patrick Williams.
I mean, yeah, it just comes down to like you can't bet on P. Will anymore. You just can't. Like when you take a step back on the things that you haven't done a lot well on the court. And then when you fall off from the two things that we've been able to say that you've done solidly at, that should be a huge concern to Riff. Like, and like I said before, hopefully it is the foot. Hopefully that foot injury really hurt him. He wasn't able to have a full offseason. And hopefully he comes in here and he surprises all of us. But at this point, like I'm with the Bulls. If that's what this is, you can't bet on P. Will's production anymore. And if all you're supposed to give us is defense, I'd rather have Day'Ron Sharp. But go ahead, Pat.
You know what cracks me up about if it's the foot, which is the P. Will argument.
Yeah.
With the foot, he played exactly the same.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like it's like the foot held him back to the exact level that he was playing at finishing last season.
And that's just the people who just want to say, who just are trying to rationalize why he didn't take a step up. It's like, well, see, clearly he would be better because he was the same with the foot injury. So that means when the foot's not hurt anymore, he's going to be better than what. It's like, come on, bro.
Have you not seen enough? Bad, guys. Hey, he might just not.
He just might be a bad basketball player. I mean, at some point, you just gotta realize somebody's not a good basketball player. I mean, and that could be where we're at with P. Will. But like I said, overall, as a functional, like coming into it, trying to add something your roster's missing. A lot of these guys bring something that we do need. You see the defensive focus here. You see like the upside plays and the guys like Caleb Houston, who were mentioned here, Josh Minot. Those are guys, might not being the name because he might not make the team. But you see.
Oh God, that's good. That was cheesy. That was a dad joke for you, right?
Definitely. You can see where it's like, all right, this is AK going again to his things of getting young guys with some potential. These could end up being some of these could end up being two-way guys. That's what this could be. It could end up being some guys on two-way contracts. We'll see what happens overall. Anything else on this, Pat, before we move into the first break?
Man, listen, I think that this free agency is not going to be one of, great, oh my God, we had to get this done. I think that we're looking towards a free agency of we added a dude. We're looking towards a free agency of we signed our next Javon Carter or what Javon Carter was supposed to be.
That's already stressful. But we're going to continue. This time, we're going to continue our grades. We're going to be grading the season of Billy Donovan. But first, we got to get into a message from DoorDash. Oh, I got to do it today. Hold
on. I
got you.
Big different setup.
Yeah. NBA fans, you know what time it is. Playoff season means big performances and even bigger rewards. DoorDash is bringing the heat with a slam dunk deal for Dash Pass members during the 2025 NBA playoffs. It's called They Swoosh, You Score. Anytime a player drops 50 or more points in a playoff game, Dash Pass members can score a free 3-piece crispy tender combo from Wingstop the very next day. Just place an order of $20 or more and use code WINGSTOP50 at checkout, and that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, and totally free. Offer valid noon to midnight the day after game. Terms do apply. What's your go-to move after an epic game? Are you ordering wings and reliving highlights? Imagine being rewarded with free food just because someone went off for 50. So here's the play. Sign up at Dash Pass to unlock this and more exclusive deals all season long. When any player scores 50 plus in a playoff game, Dash Pass members can grab a free 3-piece crispy tender combo from Wingstop the next day with a $20 order and code WINGSTOP50. That's Dash Pass, your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms do apply, and I already know Shay's putting in his order.
Dang it.
Anyway, Pat.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. If you watch a great game and then you like, dang, I could go for some tenders. You the problem. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it if it's a Sunday game, but if we talk about like a 9:30 game and Stephen Curry
it gives you 24 hours, right? So you can technically order for the game the next day.
You know they're not ordering that next day. That's the same day. That's the same night choice that people are making out here. And that's the problem.
First of all, bro, we can't talk because there's been several times at midnight you going to get food. We both have been on the phone like, hey, bro, I think we're going to get some chicken. So
yeah. Also, we're the problem.
Yeah. It's accurate. You know who else is no, I'm just playing. Billy Donovan, man. It would have been a great segue if we were talking about the front office there, Javon Carter, but I should have just made the audible and say we're going to talk about Javon Carter first. But Billy Donovan, we've been doing season grades for the players. I think it's also fair that we do a season grade for Billy Donovan, the head coach, as well. And then on Monday, we're going to be talking about the front office and grading them. But how do you look at the season from Billy Donovan? In fairness, there was a lot of change in this, not only with the roster overhaul from the end of last season to this year, there was also a midseason trade. And the Bulls came into this wanting to play with a quicker pace, wanting to get up more threes. And they've been saying this for 3 years, but this was the first year, Pat, that they did it. The 20-second shot clock in training camp, I think, did help the Bulls a lot adapt to that pace. How you grading Billy Donovan's season?
Listen, Billy Donovan's season, I think, is an up and down story, just like the Bulls season is. I think early on in the season, I do look at the Matas Buzelis situation and kind of go, could you have played him a little bit earlier than what you did? There's not much. I continue to say players got to play. There's not much Billy can do for how poor at times Zach LaVine was getting out to the corner three in the beginning of the season, which is why the Bulls were giving up an absorbent amount of three-point shots. But look, as soon as things changed, as soon as changes happen, you got to be able to roll with the punches. One of the things that we praise Tyronn Lue for what he's done with that Clippers team, and so many moments of like, do I got Kawhi? No? Okay. All right. We got to figure this out without Kawhi then. I got Kawhi today? Oh, God, we got Kawhi. All right, let's go play ball. Like, Billy Donovan's adjustment in the second half of the season was insane. I mean, not only the fact that you had a lineup on the floor of Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Kevin Huerter, Matas Buzelis, and Nikola Vucevic, and somehow turned that into a decent defensive lineup. Not only just decent, but a defensive lineup that actually was upwards, up toward the top in the NBA. Like, the schemes that he was putting together in the second half of the season, we talked about it many times, how well he was coaching versus some of these top coaches. I do look at Billy Donovan as having a good season. I think I'd give him a B season, a B to B plus season, because he had to roll with the punches, and he got young guys that we were not expecting to do anything to go on a run in the second half of the season. That was some really, really good basketball. And you got to give him credit for it. And he drew up some great sideline plays, drew up some great you actually saw a system start to get run when Josh Giddey was going out. Like, I think Billy had a really good second half of the season. I know people are going to look at that and say, he's the problem. It's like, oh, you're not talented enough sometimes. And that's what it felt like in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely gonna be times where you just you either don't have talent or you're missing something. Like this team, like you said, they played decent defense, especially considering we had no defensive players out there. Io's gone. Lonzo was hurt, right? Like we didn't have any guys that you look at like these. There's these guys that what they do best is defense, but we were able to play really good team defense over the course of that stretch. And so when you're able to add some of that back in, when you get Io back, right? When you add hopefully a defensive piece, when you add maybe another young big, we'll see what happens in the draft here. That's where you start seeing like a team that kind of it just fits together a little bit more and it overlaps a little bit better. And so I've been a harsh critic for Billy Donovan in games and things, but I've said as well, like Billy Donovan isn't as bad as some people make him out to be. He's not great either. He's an NBA coach. He's an NBA coach, and I think I'm going to grade him appropriately to that. He's an average NBA coach that did a lot though for this team, and I think he had the vision. I also think turning the defense over to Wes Unseld was smart. Like I said, the shot clock thing in training camp was smart. And so solid C+ for Billy Donovan for me this season. I know people are going to be like, Haize, what happened? Solid C+.
No, look, I think that you have to give a guy credit for what he's actually doing versus whatever your biases is. Does it mean that Billy Donovan's a different coach? No, but I think that's the difference. I've never thought that Billy Donovan was a different coach. You know what I mean? I've always thought Billy Donovan was that level of coach that can get the most out of young talent and can win some really tough games and can get a team to the playoffs and can win in the playoffs if you have the right pieces. He is Monty Williams. He is Mike Budenholzer. He is basically every Suns coach that was hired and fired. Frank Vogel was the name. Frank Vogel was the name I was going for. But whoever you want to call him, like he is that guy. They're all okay. And if you got a superstar, I could be amazing. When Billy Donovan had a superstar on his team, he went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like I'm sorry, the Western Conference Finals. I don't think that we live in a day right now where you're going to see a bunch of elite coaches put you over the top. And so Billy Donovan is what the modern NBA coach is. Bulls fans begged for one for years, and you finally got one, and now you hate him too.
I mean, to their defense, though, we did want a modern NBA coach, and we didn't start playing a modern style until like 8 months ago. But I do think Billy.
You were playing a 1990s version of basketball with two 1990s players. Like DeMar DeRozan doing a two-dribble. DeMar DeRozan doing a two-dribble. No, Vooch too. Vooch was shooting horribly. He got to go in the paint.
Yeah. You know. Never mind. I was about to say something. I'll tell you off air. It's not even vulgar, but I don't want to trigger nobody today. I was gonna compare a Bulls player to the Melly Mel Eminem freestyle diss track.
No. You want to get that? It's called my kickback.
Bro, that's so terrible.
Like the roast that crawled out of your.
We've been asking this question though. What do you want to see from Billy Donovan next season? What do you want to see him improve on as a coach?
You know what? I think just let the reins off of Matas Buzelis and truly see what you have with some of these young guys. I mean, I think that's the part where I think Billy sometimes is too hands-on. I think he is still a college coach, right? It doesn't feel like he lets go. It feels like he's got to have some kind of control on the outcome, on the system, on right. Like that's the one part where it's like, listen, like let this young man have the shots that he's supposed to have. And to his credit, we did see a couple of games like that at the end of the season where basically everybody was out and it was like, all right, Matas, it's your turn. Go have fun. And I think that first Cleveland game was that way. Now we got clapped, but that Cleveland game in the second half towards the end of the season was like that, where nobody was playing, and so it was just like Matas, go out there and shoot the basketball, go prove that you should be on the court. And Matas had himself a solid game, not a great game, not a bad game, but those moments are needed for young players. And I think, we're expecting a young center to come in here now with AK. He may go guard, right? But we're expecting a young center to come in here I don't know if you're in the same situation that you were in with Matas, where you can't put that guy on the court. By the way, in the range the Bulls may be in, you're also talking about 3 to 4 year centers probably being around that range available to you. You're going to have guys in this draft who probably can step on an NBA court right now and play basketball. So I would just say be willing to handle that different, even though the Matas situation went the way it did, where Matas ended up working out. His development worked in the second half of the season. That's all you can say.
We'll see. Hopefully Billy Donovan is ready to bring that. And if he is, great. We'll see what happens with Billy Donovan. You never know. It's Billy Donovan. You just never know.
We get in the next season, all of a sudden we got guards playing center yet again. Dalen Terry. Big center minutes coming this way.
Dalen Terry, small ball center. Yeah. Are you good to your Andrew? You need me to do it because you're on your phone.
I got it. Hey, man, we're going to talk about the ball headed. You know what it is. But first, we got to tell you guys all about our sponsors over at Amazon Fire TV. Did you know that Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn your TV into a gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe and sign in to Xbox Game Pass with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA College Sports, Football 25 to Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, and Avowed. As easily as you stream your favorite shows, it's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. With Wi-Fi 6 and 6E and auto low latency mode, advanced technology, Fire TV 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with a lightning fast speed that you need to stay competitive. With 4K streaming, watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscribed services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. Play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of a console. Already have a console? A Fire TV 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take your or your kids' games wherever you plug in. Listen, all you got to do right now is head to Amazon Fire TV /locked on to get started. Xbox Game Pass, Ultimate subscription, and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K second gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, first and second gen, and Fire TV Cube third gen. More Locked On Bulls coming up next.
I forgot to press the music. I was like, something's missing there. Nonetheless, Pat.
Felt so empty.
You know what? No,
this is actually, Javon Carter.
This is actually accurate. This is why we don't play any music. This because he doesn't get any music. In fairness, we do have to do a season grade for Javon Carter. Do you want to go first, Pat?
You got an L. That's it. I mean, you're still on my team. You're making too much money. You're not contributing. You're running around. And you're bald-headed. I can't trust you.
Where does as far as in the list of issues, like the way that you said is being bald high on the list of issues that you have with Javon Carter?
Listen, I think it's better than what we saw from THT, if we being honest. It's probably the best move for him. He looks like. And you got to think about this, right? Because in reality, Javon Carter's probably, what is he, 6'1", right? So in the regular world, you know, he's a tall man. He looks like a politician that will sell you a load of BS and then take your house. Now, you can't trust this man.
Yeah, no. Get him off.
He looks like he smokes shorts. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you got to get through this thing quick. You got to get through this cigarette quick. Man,
he smoked. But yeah, Javon. I mean, F minus. Like Javon Carter, he just doesn't give you anything, bro. Like everything that you signed him for, he's not giving you any of that. Like I get it, his contract's a lot less than P. Will's, but like he's like you're supposed to come in here and play defense. You don't do that well. You're supposed to come in here and be able to shoot. You don't do that well. You're supposed to be here and be able to be a point guard and pass and distribute. You don't do that well. And I don't want to hear the thing I hate about some people is every time you talk about a player, they look at the minutes like he wasn't given the opportunity. He came into this team with a team that had no depth chart and was streaming for somebody to be able to play point guard, and he hasn't. He's got passed up on the depth chart by guys like Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, every THT came right in and passed him right up on the depth chart. And we already know how bad THT is. So like Javon Carter is trash. And I don't care. I know that I think one of his cousins watch our show or whatever, and they always leave comments like, why ain't you guys so hard on Javon? Because your cousin sucks. Javon Carter's bad at basketball. He's at least here. Maybe he needs to change the scenery. Maybe he needs to go back to Milwaukee. Maybe there was something about being over there. Maybe the cheese curds were his mushroom in Mario, and they just gave him the power that he needed to be a competent NBA player. Here, Javon Carter sucks. Javon Carter's bad. F minus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I didn't even know. I guess it do make sense that one of his cousins watched the show. He's from here, but from here, yeah. It's just, even when given the opportunity, I mean, he had one game this season that I think stands out, and he's had opportunities, right? He got to play a ton in the Cavaliers game, shot horribly, like 4 for 20. You got to play a ton in that Wizards game, right? Shot horribly. Got to play a ton in that 76ers game. Shot horribly. I think the Thunder game is the only good game he actually had this season, where he got
Atlanta game.
Hot. And oh, by the way, in the Thunder game, we also got clapped. But like, I think he got hot and went like 7 for 10 and like 4 for 6 from the 3-point line. But listen, if you could give me anything off of the bench at this point, it would be worth it. If you could give me, I'm talking about just lockdown defense, which is really all. When Javon Carter got signed, that's all we were really excited about. It was like, he's going to come in and give you defense off of the bench. We still thought Lonzo was coming back at that point, so we were still delusional. But he's going to come in, he's going to give you defense off of the bench, and he's going to lock mugs down. When Lonzo's not in the game. That's perfect. That's exactly what we needed off of the bench. And he can shoot the three. I don't know what's happened to either of those skills. He's the only dude who was working with Peter Patton. It got worse.
I don't even know if he worked with Peter Patton. Peter Patton maybe looked at Javon and was like, I ain't got time for it. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We don't support that.
We don't talk about Javon.
Yeah, Javon's bad. Javon's bad. But yeah, I got nothing left on Javon Carter. We already spent, we spent more time on him than he should have spent on the court.
Did a mini-con just transform on your desk?
My hand, as I was, I talk with my hands, it brushed over my phone and then it opened up some ad. I don't know what the hell it was.
You won't last 5 minutes. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
That's hilarious. You guys can follow us at Locked On Bulls. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, lockedonbulls@gmail.com. We are free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, and more. We'll see you guys on Monday. Well, we will be reevaluating and grading the Zach LaVine trade now in hindsight and grading the front office. So we'll see y'all on Monday. Love you guys. Go Bulls. Peace, y'all.
Peace.